Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the third episode of Nearly Verified. My name is Puglisi, and today I have the pleasure of introducing a guy that has created a basketball empire on social media. So Buster Scher is a 19-year-old founder of Hoops Nation. He's the host of The Buster Show, and unfortunately a lifelong Knicks fan. He has hosted various shows for the NBA and done online consulting for hip-hop artists and NBA legends. So Buster, thank you so much for being on here, man. I really appreciate you and your time.
Thank you for having me, man. I'm excited to be here.
Yeah, man. So right off the bat, I know we just talked about it, but I wanted to congratulate you on 1 million Hoops Nation, 1 million followers. It's huge, man. So what's going on through your head? Like, what are you feeling?
Thank you, man. Yeah, it's kind of crazy because TikTok really ruined it for me. I was so excited to hit 1 million on Instagram. I had 950K on Instagram when I started on TikTok. TikTok is almost at 4 million now. So it really ruined the fun. And I'm very desensitized, but I appreciate it. And thank you. Like I said before, I'm not an emotional guy over numbers. I'm very emotional over content. I love content. When content is well, it makes me very happy. But numbers, whatever. So I think, and I think too, it's like, if your goal is to hit certain numbers, you're not gonna get there. The goal has to be the consistency,
Yeah, man. Yeah, I think it's kind of funny with TikTok, man. Like not anything can go viral, but like
anything, literally the worst videos in the world go viral, like every
just
day.
because.
Yeah, man. I mean, it's partly the demographic, it's partly the algorithm. Some people say some of the views are fake. Like, there's so much up in the air, but it's a funny one. Yeah.
It's cool, man. Though it's big moves, and it's been cool to watch. But I think we'll just dive right into it, man. So let's start with your story, because I think it's one that's super interesting, super inspiring, especially being like a young guy, seeing you accomplish as much as you have at 19. Like, it is wild to me. So I have a few points just about kind of how you came up, and then I just want to get your input on it. But at 14, you started blogging about fantasy basketball. Also, correct me if I'm wrong anywhere. 15, you started learning how to edit videos and photos. 16, you started broadcasting for radio and local TV. At 17, a lot of your stuff started going viral, and then you hopped from Facebook, which is where you were posting most of your stuff, to Instagram and Snapchat, amongst others. And then 18, you started working with some of your favorite companies like the NBA, also crazy. Congratulations. And then at 19, so now you've reached 1 million followers on Hoops Nation, amongst many other things. So an unreal story. Like, you really grinded and you followed your passion.
And you know my story better than I do.
Man, I gotta know this stuff.
For half that stuff. Yeah, it's all true though. It's all true. I'm just joking.
Man, like, what does that mean to you? Like, what is your story, the story of Buster, and going through all of these phases in your life? Like, what has that meant to you? And like,
It's funny. I always say I did it so that I didn't have to go to school, because I was the worst student ever. And that's kind of what drove everything, because I found no joy in school. Like, I liked some of the people that were there, but it was more of like at sometimes it felt like an inconvenience, especially with how much time it would take up during the day and how much energy it would drain during the day. While everyone else is doing, their things, I'm stuck here learning algebra and being terrible at it. I'm the type of kid that like got called on and I would not know the answer, and I would just look embarrassed every single day. Like Spanish, I will mess up in front of the entire class every day for multiple years straight, and it is just it's just the worst feeling ever. Like, there is nothing worse than getting called on and like not having any idea in front of like all these people that you're stuck in a box with for like the next 3 years. Like, I had nothing going for me except for what I was doing on the side. And that was the only thing that gave me life. It was the only thing that made me happy. And that's why I was able to put a lot of drive into that. And I think there are a couple other things. Like, I was lucky enough not to make my JV basketball team as a sophomore. They said I wasn't good enough. I probably was not good enough. Regardless, I had a bad tryout. I thought I should have made the team at the time.
Fair.
But in retrospect, very grateful that I didn't make the team, because I would have been riding the bench and I wouldn't have started broadcasting. So I think, you know, you just gotta take things in stride, think about the long term. But a lot of my motivation from a younger age came from being a terrible student and not enjoying anything. So I really went towards the thing that I enjoyed, and fortunately, it was social media and sports and basketball, and not like drooling.
Fair. No, it's a better route. That's a better route.
You
Was
know?
there a moment that kind of clicked for you where you're like, I think this is what I need to be doing. Like I'm doing the right things and I'm going the right direction, or was it kind of just like a lot of little learning
No, man,
moments?
it was never even a career idea. I thought I was going to be a broadcaster. I thought I was going to be a play-by-play broadcaster, and I was going to try to work my way up. Like, even as much as I hated school, I thought there was a chance I was going to go to like Syracuse or Northeastern or one of those schools, um, for broadcasting and stuff like that. But, the way things turned out, and I saw the potential, and I realized that I was not made to be a broadcaster, and sit there with like headphones and mic for 3 hours a day. Although I kind of am doing that now because I'm streaming on Twitch for 3 hours a night, but it's a little bit different. But yeah, man, I think that's kind of it.
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, it's cool to see how, you took those passions and you took those, I guess, those shortcomings, I guess, like at the time they felt like shortcomings, but it really was just kind of pointing you in the right direction, thinking like, this is what I'm supposed to be doing. Like I'm doing the right things.
Yeah, I think to a certain extent, and there are definitely shortcomings. Like, I'm super dyslexic and ADD. You can look at that as a shortcoming. I definitely think being dyslexic in terms of reading is a shortcoming, but in terms of like other things, it's not. So it's just about what you're trying to apply it to. If you're trying to get me to, you know, take a test, like, I'm gonna bomb the SAT. But if you ask me, like, you know, to walk you through how to make $1 million in sports card. I'm just kidding. But like, it's all about what you're passionate about. You can't get somebody to do something if they're not passionate. I truly believe that.
Man, 100%. That's also, I think that's a whole nother conversation about like the school system and how you're brought up in the school system and how you learn and how you discover like what you're good at. It's a little bit or a whole lot flawed, and it
And also
discourages.
why you learn it. I had this conversation with somebody yesterday. Every teacher should sit down with a kid. Like, if somebody sat down with me at the beginning of Spanish class and was like, you want to learn Spanish, so because you're a huge fan of the NBA, right? So you can talk to these NBA players in Spanish and impress all of them. I'd be like, oh, okay, I'm in. Like, I'm so in.
Yeah.
But they don't do that, man.
No, no. And I mean, that changes how you think about it, especially at a young age. If you put some context into the picture, you're like, okay, you know what? I'll grind through this thing that I don't love because I know long term I'll be better for it. But that's just not how it
There's
goes for
no
some reason.
context. I think you hit on that perfectly. It's like there's no context in education at all.
No, no. It's unfortunate, but it is what it is. And look at you now. So can't complain too much, but
I'm
it's
gonna start my own college, and it's gonna be free.
Buster you.
Yeah, that would be what it would be called. But yeah, I don't know. I thought about doing like a free online college, something like that. It'd be fun.
And it's how a lot of people, at least on LinkedIn. So funny enough, man, I found out about you through LinkedIn before I found out about you through Instagram, which is kind of like wacko because you're huge on Instagram, man. Like it's really cool, and like your content is like unreal to see in the feed and all that good stuff. But like for me personally, it's weird, really weird. Like I'll admit it, as a 21-year-old, spending more time on LinkedIn than Instagram.
Did you see one of my posts because Swish liked it?
Oh, potentially, man.
Because he every time he likes one of my posts on LinkedIn, it goes crazy in Canada.
Yeah, yeah. Honestly think that might have been it.
So fun. I
But
love that.
dude, LinkedIn, man, LinkedIn is a hot spot right now. I know it sounds corny and it's like kind of a boring platform at times. Like it can get stale, but like there's some serious opportunity to be had there. So it's dope that you're on there right now. And like, oh man, the
I'm
posts,
super bullish about it, like you are. It's
dude.
everything. Organic reach on LinkedIn is bizarre. Although I hate that like so much of LinkedIn, like high performing posts now have become like rags to riches story instead of like informative content. But I do love the platform.
Yeah, no, it's huge, man. Your posts about like comparing the two, like 100K on YouTube versus 100K on Instagram, like that is so sick, man. Like scrolling through that and just kind of getting an understanding about influence and community on different platforms, like I don't know, that's the stuff that you're looking for, and like I don't know, just cool, valuable things, right? I don't know.
Oh, man, thank you. Well, what should I do more of on LinkedIn?
Oh, video.
More video?
Yeah, video is huge on LinkedIn, and a lot of people find like quick success and a lot more engagement from video, at least from what I'm seeing.
Wow. All right, man. You've inspired me. I'll put in my first LinkedIn video today.
Love it. I love it. And it's easy, man. You can recycle from Instagram or from like your Instagram stories or whatever it is. Like you just, and like clips from your podcast, man. Start firing those on LinkedIn. That's huge.
Cool. I will.
Yeah, it's sick. Cool, man. So something that me and my roommates, and like I've been talking to my brother, I've been talking to everybody about this, is sports cards.
Yeah.
So I know like nothing about sports cards, but I'm trying. I followed a bunch of accounts on Instagram. I've been cruising through eBay, seeing what's up. So I don't know. I just kind of want to hear your opinion on it, your opinion on the industry, and just kind of a high level overview of what's going on with sports cards and basketball cards, because you had a really good explanation of it on your podcast. So just kind of want to share that.
Thank you. Yeah, I think it comes down, there's this big divide in the hobby where it's people that are in it for collecting, which I was when I was younger, and people that are in it for investing, which I am more of now. And I think the easiest way to explain what sports cards are and how they work are that the second a player comes into the league, that's the equivalent of his IPO. And then as he goes on and progresses, it's only gonna be affected equivalent to how he performs out on the court. So if a guy is out for an entire year, I'm going to use Bobo as an example. If a guy's out for the entire year, his prices aren't going to be going crazy unless there's extraordinary hype. It's just supply and demand. But then that guy, like Bobo just did, he's 7'2" kid, went out and put up 15 points, blocked 6 shots, grabbed 10 rebounds or whatever. His value went up 7x. And that's a kind of return that you don't see. Like I saw something earlier where it was like, if you're an investor in stocks and you go up 10%, you are crushing it. But you can go up like 800%, 1,000% in sports cards if you're buying the right thing. Granted, you can also go down 1,000%. A lot of people bought, the best examples are like, a lot of people bought Anthony Bennett. They lost. A lot of people bought Andrew Wiggins. And I know you're Canadian. I know you like, I'm naming all the Canadians right now.
No,
but
I love it.
Andrew, great player, 20 points per game guy.
Yeah.
But he wasn't a $400 rookie autograph, which is what they were going for before sports cards were even big.
Yeah.
That's what he was going for then. Now that would be a $2,000 card if it was the same level of hype, because everyone was saying that he was going to be Kobe.
Yeah.
So, it's really crazy, but it goes both ways. So the best thing to do is just to dive in, do your research, follow the right accounts, look at eBay. You have to look at sold listings. You have to look at the pop reports on psacard.com, but you got to trust your gut too. I think that's one of the biggest things as well. A lot of people hold back and don't trust their gut when they see a play they really like. And those are the people who didn't buy into Bobo in January. Those are the people who didn't buy into Trae Young after he almost won Rookie of the Year and he was still cheap. Luka too. Yeah. So I think it's kind of a combination of all that. But to bring it back to your question, sports cards are the equivalent to the stock market, except a lot more fun because it's tangible items. It's collectibles. It's a lot better. And especially right now, with the season coming back, it's going crazy. And I am like, my head, like I sent out a tweet this morning. I'll read you the tweet that I sent out. This is word for word what I tweeted. Sports cards, sports cards, sports cards, sports cards, sports cards, Bobo, sports cards, sports cards, sports cards, Pikachu, sports cards. That is what's going on in my head 24/7 these days. But I do think it's an interesting investment opportunity, but I wouldn't put in 50% of your safe money. I would mess around with like 5 to 10 max.
Yeah.
And
Man.
be ready to flip because stuff goes up and down. So I'd just say do your research, but it's a really interesting opportunity, interesting market, but even more than sports cards, Pokemon cards, I believe, are even better.
Dude, I saw your Pikachu cards. I saw you flexing those.
Yeah, man. If you had told me that I was gonna be like flexing my red cheeks and yellow cheeks Pikachus like 4 months ago, somebody literally came to me in March, a good friend of mine, and he was like, "Yo, buy red cheeks and yellow cheeks right now." And I was like, "Bro, that's not my vibe." Like that, like in my head, I'm like, I'm too cool for that. Fast forward, I'm like going in. I'm like talking to people, like 60-year-old Pokemon collectors, like going crazy, man. Buying Pikachus. I never thought the day would come, but I'm very glad that it has. And I wish
Yeah,
I
man.
bought when he first told me.
Literally. So, okay, so follow-up question on the cards. We're talking, you go on eBay and you look up some cards. You get a whole slew of different things. And to someone who doesn't know what's going on, like myself, PSA, is that like the governing body that certifies the condition of the card? And then you get like an official, because I see the little banner on top of the card, PSA 10 or 9, based on like the value, or that like indicates the value, or I'm just kind of.
It's all condition based. So it's on a 10 scale. PSA is the biggest grading company. BGS is the second biggest. It's Beckett, and it's a 1 to 10 scale where they grade 1 to 10. So a 10 is obviously the best, and then it gets less valuable as you go down.
Okay, cool. And for someone who's just like casually collecting cards, but they want to get those certified, do you have to like send them off to PSA? They figure it out.
You send them off. You can do like 40-day, 60-day, cost money, but that's their business.
True.
Yeah.
True. Okay, so I've been trying to put my boys on to getting into cards and seeing what's up. So I just got back home and I'm looking through all of my hockey cards, and like I found ones like $5, $10, $20. Like I have a jersey card of Team Solani, $20. I'm fired up after seeing this. So me and my roommate go on Amazon and we buy the Raptors 2019-2020 championship box set for $23. It's like Panini Instant. Probably not worth anything. I'm looking on eBay, cards aren't worth very much, but like that's something, and I also don't know anything, granted, but that's something that like we're gonna hold for like 10 years, because you've got Kawhi holding the trophies, you've got all the boys, like you've got like all of these cool, like I don't know, scenic shots of the Raps and like them through the finals and stuff like that. So that was like my first purchase. It was last week, and I was really pumped about it. But something I wanted to do on this podcast is I got $100 to spend on cards right now, and I got eBay open. So I'm gonna take in any recommendations. I know you tweeted about it, or you replied to someone. You're like, man, you got to go with your gut. Everyone's biased with their like with their opinions. It's kind of like the stock market. Like you don't want to trust anyone too heavily, but I'm trusting you with my $100 right now, Buster. So what are you thinking?
Here, and I think this will be a good lesson for everybody, because there are a lot of people out there who, like, I've seen people literally post a card and then like here's a great example. So I made a video about Pikachu, right? I made a video about Pikachu and I got hit up by one of the biggest collectors, and I said that I was buying Pikachus if he had any. And he said that he said, since your video with Jeremy, who's the guy I had on my show, and Gary V's video about Pikachus have gone crazy. And I was like, you think our video had an impact? And he was like, yeah, bro, the Pokemon community lost its collective, expletive.
Damn.
And I was like, what? And he was like, yeah, man, you almost doubled like the market, or you increased the market value of Pikachu. So that's why I can't really give investing tips publicly, because I don't want to affect the market value at all. So my answer to you would be, here's what I can say. I would say focus on products like, for basketball, focus on Prism. Don't get like distracted by looking at Mosaic and some of these other NBA hoops and like college Prism. I would stick to Prism rookie cards because that is what's highest in demand, and it's also the easiest to sell. So like, I mean, if you're a Raptors fan, like maybe also look at Pascal, so you have like some incentive on that front. But stick to Prism. That would be my best investing tip.
Cool. Okay. No, I appreciate that. Yeah, I don't want to get you in any hot water, like gassing up the price or anything. But so would
Don't
you?
buy Pikachu. I'm
Yeah,
just
I'm not.
kidding.
So would you recommend going and getting packs also? Because I've seen some packs that are pretty expensive, or would you just go for like one-off cards that are already
Packs are a
PSA?
gamble, man. You can spend $1,000 on packs, end up with $200 worth of cards, or $2 million of cards, man. It's such a gamble. I'm not a big fan of gambling, you know, which is why the current basketball card market's scaring me because it's reminding me a lot of like day trading stocks.
Yeah.
Guys going up and down like that. So I'm not. I like buying what I know. If you know exactly what you're buying and what you think it'll be worth, you're golden. But if you start playing the guessing game, you're just leaving yourself up to like lose.
Yeah. No, for sure, man. Um, okay, so just to sum it up, we've got do your research. So that means like following a bunch of accounts on Instagram and looking at, there's some articles you said on the PSA website.
PSAcard.com shows you the population report, so how many of each card there are in the world.
Okay. And the number one spot to buy and sell would be eBay. That's like
Yeah.
go to. Okay, man.
Yeah, man, and watch my sports card show. Like 20 episodes in, I interview collectors, so it's like there are cool things out there like mine and other people's shows who it's fun too, and that's my goal. Make it fun. That's all I care about. I don't care about the money, man.
Oh, it's cool, man. Like it's just another branch off of your passion, right? Like collecting, like having your favorite players in the form of a collectible is cool. Like no matter what way you spin it. So the fact that you could make money off that, maybe that's not the only intent or the main intent, like it shouldn't be,
Yeah,
unless you're really diving deep into it. But
yeah, unless it's
um,
your career, unless that's like what you're relying on, shouldn't be about the money, in my
yeah,
opinion.
no, for
But
sure.
never hurts to buy you know 200,000 sports cards instead of a Ferrari that's worth two-thirds what you bought it for the second you drive it off the lot.
It's true.
Doesn't hurt.
It's true. Only if you had that cash ready to go.
Yeah, or whatever the equivalent is, like buying sports cards instead of a sneaker. Same thing.
Literally, yeah. You get probably a solid rookie card for the amount of like a nice sneaker.
More importantly, an appreciating asset rather than a depreciating one.
Yeah, no doubt. I'm gonna look into some some Pascal, maybe some OG cards. I'm gonna take a look. I'm gonna dive in. I'll let you know. I'll let you know where I end up. But
Cool.
yeah, man, that's sweet. So maybe we'll take a little bit of a pivot and talk about some advice to young people like ourselves. I don't know if we're super qualified, but I think you more than I.
Definitely
So
not qualified, but I'll do my best.
cool, man. I appreciate that. So your story, like I said before, super inspiring, dude. Like you really grinded towards the things you were good at and what you're passionate about, and that being basketball. So I'm just wondering about some advice you'd have to other young people looking to chase their dreams and specifically chase those dreams through the power of social media, much like you did.
Yeah, I would say don't focus on being cool. I think that's like the best tip that I can give because it will decrease your overhead and give you more time. Don't like don't chase girls, don't focus on clothing, you don't need to do any of that. Like you just need to if you do any of that, you're just taking up your headspace. Because what people have to realize is it's not just about what they're doing in a day. Like if you do something bad for an hour, the whole day is ruined because that's your mental space. It's so valuable, and that's why I made a LinkedIn post about this the other week. It was that think I think my computer died, but thanks for your patience.
All good,
Um,
dude.
where were we?
It was, I think
Oh, I remember. I was talking about why celebrities like Drake and all of these people are so inaccessible. It's not because they don't want to talk to you. It's because it's too much of a risk to talk to you. Because you say one thing and it messes with their mood, then they're shot for the rest of the day. It's why Jeff Bezos, all these people, they're so protective over their energy. And that's how you have to view everything. Now, I think at the same time, you shouldn't just be like turning everything down. You just have to be very conscious about things that take up your energy. So, like chasing after a girl, or like, not to say don't do any of these things, but like be very conscious of what you're doing and why you're doing it. And I think if you can do that, you can minimize your overhead and be more successful.
Yeah, man. And to piggyback off that, like, I guess that's kind of, I guess that kind of like is along the lines of um, being able to like regulate, I guess, your day and like what you're consuming, whether it be media, food, just like wherever you're exerting your energy is what you're gonna like return back, right?
Mm.
So something that I've been asking, well, I guess this is only episode 3, so my first 2 guests, just been asking them about routine. Like, what does routine mean to you? What does routine look like for you? Because I know it's kind of a common theme for like any high performing person. They have routine that they like. Obviously, it alters and changes based on like whatever you're feeling or what you're doing in life. But it seems like such a constant because people can get behind it and it helps them just perform. So, wondering what that's like for you and if you got anything specific.
Yeah, man. The only thing that's like locked in that I do every day is cold showers, and
Dude,
work out. That's like, those are the only 2 things that I do every day. Like I like to journal every day. I do my podcast pretty much every day, but some days I do 2 and then I don't do one the next day and then I do 2 the next day, like double record. But yeah, man, working out, I will try to work out 2 hours a day, and that's a lot, but I try to do it, whether it's basketball or running. I go to the track here, do some weights, and cold showers morning and night.
damn, the cold shower is tough to get behind, but I've heard good things.
Great things, man. I'm telling you, you should try it.
I saw some TikTok yesterday where it's like the 30-second like cold shower thing where you just like fire on cold for the last 30 seconds. I actually did it today. Like, I'm not messing around, and it was nice. But like I don't know if I could do the whole thing freezing cold.
Yeah, I couldn't do that because I would, it would be too much of an indulgence. Um, yeah, man, I can't. I'm either all or nothing. So I'm either doing hot or I'm doing cold.
I respect that. I respect that. That's cool though. You're still finding time to play basketball. Like you're getting that in.
Yeah, I mean, by myself, But,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah. That's cool. Are you in New York right now?
I'm in Connecticut. Yeah, I'm
Oh.
out in Connecticut where I grew up. Um, yeah, man, New York, definitely wouldn't be able to play basketball in New York.
Yeah, I feel like it's a little hectic.
Yeah.
Cool, man. So asking for another piece of advice in terms of being authentic. So another common theme along with routine, I feel like a lot of people that find success online is through being, their true selves and being authentic, being real, kind of sharing their story, and just doing what is true to them. So any advice on, young people trying to be authentic, true to themselves, and break down those walls a little bit?
Same answer as my last question.
Yeah.
Second, you stop trying to be cool, you're authentic, because
Yeah.
you're not cool. I've got news for you. Like, nobody is cool. You want to know why? Because being authentic is cool. That's like, it's the biggest twist. Like, and it'll like send people in like circles trying to figure out, like why I said that. But it's true, man. Not trying to be cool is what is cool.
No, for real. Yeah, you can't be trying to put it on because then it just comes off as corny, in my
Mm.
opinion. So I'm gonna try something new. I don't know if this is gonna be cool or lame, but I want to try a little lightning round. So I just got like a bunch of questions for you. First thing that pops in your head, you just give it.
All right, let's do it.
Cool, man. All right. Well, like you don't have to do it as fast. You can think about it for a sec. But first question: top 5 all-time NBA players.
Um, all time career wise, it go top 5 basketball players of all time in terms of skill. LeBron 1, Jordan 2, put Kobe 3, Shaq 4, Kareem 5.
Nice. Nice. That is a solid list.
Thank
I
you.
like that. So yeah, the LeBron and MJ thing is an entire conversation, but you're saying, I guess, skill over rings at the end of the day.
Yeah, I mean, career wise, Jordan's better. You know, skill wise, LeBron is.
Yeah. All right. We'll leave it at that because that is a whole can of worms, man. I like that though. I like that answer a lot. Favorite NBA moment could be personal or just watching as a fan. His favorite moment there.
Melo's 62-point game. I was there. I was 14.
Dude,
Yeah.
that is sick.
I used to only go to like 2 or 3 games a year, so I got lucky. Friday night, Knicks friend got me tickets. Like, coolest thing ever.
Damn, that is cool. I saw, complete side note, I saw the classic snippet of Melo today grabbing for a rebound and just screaming at his teammates. And since it was like an empty arena, you can just hear it so clearly. It's hilarious.
I saw that. Yeah.
So jokes. Um, Pet peeve, number one pet peeve.
I don't know. I think a pet peeve, I guess when people like DM me and they're just like, "Hey," and I'm like, "Well, are you asking me for a favor?" Like, I'm not. Like, just annoying. It's like, "Hey, hey, what's up? What's up?" Yeah, like that could have been removed with like, even if it's going to be something stupid, it's like, "Hey, will you follow me back?" It's like, at least say it so I can not respond.
Yeah, yeah.
or or be like, "Yo, I saw this, I really liked it, I was wondering if you would do this little like bit that I'm doing." I'll be like, "All right, cool, let's do it." It's like, it's all about how you approach things, man. And that's definitely something, because yeah, I wish people understood that.
Yeah, man, I feel like it can be like people get tied up in, I guess, just the hype of Instagram and social media that they don't think that or realize that there's a person on the other end, and it's just kind of like
Right.
mindless.
Yeah, man, I get a lot of messages where it's like, you would never say that to somebody in real life.
No,
Like,
yeah.
what?
Like, what is going
Right.
on?
"Hey, bro, will you add my song to your playlist?" It's like, my playlist that's like all Travis Scott and Drake. I'm gonna add like your classical music on it. Like, crazy.
Dude, that's actually something I want to touch on. So we'll go on a side note. The Hoops Nation Spotify playlist.
Yeah,
You're
man.
you're a big hip hop guy, like solely hip hop, or like what's your vibe?
I bounce around all over, but I'm a big hip hop fan. Like, I'm a real fan. I have no involvement really, just a fan.
Yeah, that's sick. Um, okay, well, insert a new lightning round question. Do you have your top three favorite rappers?
Uh, Travis Scott, um, DaBaby, and Don Tolliver.
Nice, nice, dude. I saw Travis Scott in Toronto, and it was probably one of the most wild like live shows I've ever seen. Like that
Best live performer in the world.
man, he is crazy. Just so much
Mhm.
energy all the time.
Yep.
Sick. All right, cool. So we will start one, bench one, cut one. We'll go with Kawhi, Harden, Curry.
Gonna start Kawhi, bench Curry, cut Harden.
Oh, okay, okay. Why the cut?
Because I had to cut one.
I like
I'll go
that.
there. Yeah.
Yep, fair answer. Fair answer. Okay. One current NBA player that you want to take last shot, a clutch shot. Who are you picking?
Um, Last shot. If Kevin Durant's healthy, I'm taking Kevin Durant every time.
Yeah.
Every time. No question asked. I will take Kevin Durant over Kawhi. I will take Kevin Durant over LeBron. For a last shot, I think KD has the highest final 5 second percentage in the league.
Damn.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Okay. Could you explain your experience as a Knicks fan in 3 words?
Um, hey, look, I love the Knicks. The Knicks are going to be good. Hopefully, one day I have some involvement of some kind, because I really do love that team and that franchise. But yeah, man, it's been a rough couple of years, but here's hoping. Here's hoping will be better.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know too much about the new draft class, but is it a potential for LaMelo to go?
Like 15% chance, just
Okay.
like 13 to 15%, I think.
True. And is he do you think he's going first, or what are your thoughts there?
Yeah, he'll be the first overall pick.
Yeah, easily.
I think so.
Sick. Man, that is awesome. Okay, that's all I've got for the lightning round. You killed it. You're solid. Held your ground there. So I think we will bring it to a close, my man. So I just want to open the floor to you. If there's anything on your mind, I know we talk sports cards and that's been on your mind constantly, but anything you want to say to the pod, anyone, or anything you want to say to young people that are looking to, get into basketball or get it into something of their, like something they're passionate about, just kind of any last words you got.
Yeah, I mean, the number one thing that I'd say, and the only thing I have to plug, would be just to be very true to yourself and put the blinders on and don't look at what anybody else is doing, because you will get distracted and you will make the wrong decisions. So that's what I would say. And if you want to text me, my number is 917-970-2200. So those are the two things. I might not see every text, but I will see a lot of them. And I do send out texts to everybody.
I love that. So I do have one more thing for you.
Yes, sir.
We'll speak it into existence right now. Dream podcast guest.
Obama.
Let's go.
Yeah.
That's sick.
He's been the one. Huge basketball fan. President. My president growing up from age 8 to age 16. Yeah, it's 8 years, so it's a big chunk.
Have you met him?
Yeah, I have very briefly, but I have met him, and it was before I was doing my podcast, but if next time I meet him, I'll bring it up.
That's awesome. Well, you spoke into existence, man. It's happening. Thank you so much for coming on, man. I really appreciate you. Appreciate your story. Super inspiring. If you are listening and you do not know about Buster Scher, please go find this man. He is huge on Instagram, Hoops Nation, 1 million followers. It's been an unreal ride. And I'll have everything in the description to find him and his stuff. But Buster, thank you so much, man. I really, really appreciate you.
Likewise, man. I appreciate the LinkedIn tips. I'm going to do my first video.
I love that. I'll be supporting.
Thank you, man. We'll see how it does.
That's awesome. All right. Thanks so much, man.